One of the biggest mistakes right now in Pokemon investing that I see people make time and time again is that they try and buy everything, and especially they try to buy those products that are skyrocketing. They're trying to buy the most hype product at the moment, and in my opinion, that's just not the way to go because you don't have unlimited money, right? You can't just buy everything and hold on to everything. You have to pick and choose which plays that you want to make. Everyone's different, everyone has a different budget, but most people can only spend a couple hundred, maybe a couple $1,000s a month on Pokemon, if that. And it's not the best idea to buy a product when it's already run up 80%, 100%, 200%, something like the 151 booster bundle. This was a much better buy at $60 a few weeks ago rather than right now at $100, right? Same thing with Paldean Fates. This was a much better buy 4 weeks ago when it was $60 versus right now it's $110. Something like the PC ETB for Prismatic Evolutions right here. This was a much better buy at $200 a couple months ago. About a month and a half ago, you could still find this easily for $200. Right? It was a much better buy back then than it is now at $400. Sometimes the best play is to not buy the product that is the most hype and is run up a lot. It's to buy the undervalued products that aren't as hype right now, or maybe they're getting a lot of reprints and they're kind of being flooded into the market. Those are the best products to buy. And currently, in my opinion, those undervalued products are going to be the ETBs for Prismatic and the booster bundles for Prismatic Evolutions. And those are the products I'm currently buying heavily. I actually this morning just bought a pretty big lot of ETBs and booster bundles, and I'll continue adding to my position for Prismatic ETBs and booster bundles in these next couple of months. These are the two products that I am focusing basically 90% of my money that I'm putting towards Pokemon. I'm putting it into Prismatic ETBs and Prismatic booster bundles right now. And that basically means that I am not buying these other products right here, right? I'm not buying Destined Rivals booster boxes right now. I'm not buying 151 and Paldean Fates booster bundles. I'm not buying these PC ETBs from Scarlet Violet because one, I already have a good position in all of these products except for the Paldean Evolved PC ETB. I don't have this yet, but I'm willing to miss out on some of these other products in order to get a large position in Prismatic ETBs and Prismatic booster bundles, while these both are still very cheap, right? You can still find Prismatic ETBs, regular ETBs, for around that $100 range. I know on TCG Player, I think they're sitting at around 120, 130 now, but locally, I've been able to find them for about 100 to 110. So this morning, I picked up a good lot for about $100 each. And the person was willing to sell them because they had other expenses to pay, and that's what you're gonna find with Prismatic, right? A lot of times it's these people buying from Walmart and Target and Costco, and they run up their credit card and they're not going to be able to pay off their credit card unless they sell these products. So they're able to kind of give it out for under market price, and that's when you scoop in and you buy it from them for a good amount under market. And if you're able to buy in a big quantity, like 10 plus ETBs and 10 plus booster bundles, then you're probably going to get a bulk discount. So for me, I got these ETBs for $100 each, and booster bundles I got for $50 each. And booster bundles are actually a lot more plentiful in my area. I've been finding these like giant lots of 50 to 100 booster bundles for $50 each, and if I buy the whole 100, I can probably talk them down to 45 even. So that's definitely a play that I am considering. But ETBs are becoming more scarce. They dropped on Sam's Club and Costco a couple weeks ago, but they really haven't dropped too much since. So these are probably the main product I'm targeting, is Prismatic regular ETBs. But booster bundles for $50 or even less than $50, I think is a fantastic play. It's very undervalued in my opinion. Same thing like the 151 and the Paldean Fates booster bundles are all over $100. And I think Prismatic in about a year's time, or maybe even less than a year, will follow that same trajectory. Now, does this mean that I am not buying these products on the left at all? No, I'm still willing to buy these products, but only if I can find them for either a under market deal, so anything 10 to 15% under market, or they get a reprint. And out of these products, the only one that has a good chance of getting a reprint is going to be this Destined Rivals booster box. Right now, it's sitting at I think $400, which is pretty crazy, right? I'm glad I picked up the position that I had. I definitely still want more, and I'm just not willing to pay $380, $400 right now for a single Destined Rivals booster box, when I know, about a month ago, I could have bought these for $230, which I did. But I'm going to wait for a reprint for Destined Rivals, and the main reason for that is because I already have a good position, right? If I didn't have any Destined Rivals right now, I would be buying probably a case of Destined Rivals just to have it in my possession, and just to have it in case, let's say Destined Rivals doesn't get a reprint, or maybe the reprint doesn't really do too much to the price, then at least I have something to show for it. But right now, since I already have a Destined Rivals position, I'm going to wait for the reprint, and the reprint will most likely happen in the next 6 months. So hopefully that reprint hits and it drops the price of Destined Rivals maybe back down to the low 300s, right? I'm kind of hoping that it will go lower, but I really don't see this dropping too much lower, honestly, because this will most likely be a $500 booster box by the time the reprint comes. But with that being said, if I still find Destined Rivals right now for, let's say, 350, so that's around 10% under market, I'll still be picking it up. There are just so many reasons for why you should be buying Prismatic ETBs and Prismatic Booster Bundles right now in today's current markets, right? I know a lot of people don't know where to put their money. If I had to tell you, right, I'm not a financial advisor, but if I had to tell you one place to put your money, it would be Prismatic ETBs and Prismatic Booster Bundles. Let's take a look at some reasons, right? Of course, Prismatic is the best set in Scarlet and Violet. It has the highest holo set value. It has the most expensive chase card in the Umbreon, and it has a lot of depth, right? It has 32 special illustration rares, and it has a special illustration rare for every single evolution. It is by far the best set in Scarlet and Violet. Now, why ETBs specifically, right? Why the regular ETBs? Well, there's already been multiple ETB reprint waves that have happened, and the price has stayed relatively the same even with all of these reprint waves, and starting to rise now. Now, we don't know how many other waves are going to happen, if any, right? We've seen with some other products, especially ETBs in Scarlet and Violet, like 151 and Paldean Fates, the ETBs haven't really been printed as much, right? Paldean Fates basically only got like one wave, maybe 1.5 waves of ETBs. 151 only got, I think, 2 waves of ETBs. It really didn't last too long, and Pokemon tends to reprint ancillary products like collection boxes and booster bundles for these specialty sets. Think about Blooming Waters for 151. Instead of printing 151 ETBs, Pokemon decided to print a bunch of Blooming Waters collection boxes and also booster bundles as well. And think about Paldean Fates, the last kind of reprint it got was those Walmart booster bundles. So ETBs for specialty sets in Scarlet and Violet have a pretty short shelf life, and for booster bundles, the main reason I'm buying them is because they're just so undervalued, right? You can find them for $50 locally for Prismatic right now, and just comparing them to 151 and Paldean Fates, Prismatic is arguably the better set. At the very least, it's on par with both of these sets, and the booster bundle is half the price, right? It just makes a lot of sense right now. You might wait a little bit longer for these booster bundles to appreciate, right? You might have to wait maybe a year for them to get to the price of, $100, but it's still a really, really good deal, especially if you're waiting and investing for the long term. So that's it for the video, guys. Let me know what you think about Prismatic ETBs and Prismatic Booster Bundles, and let me know what you're currently buying in today's markets. It's very hard to know exactly what to buy right now in today's current market, but if I had to put all of my eggs in one basket, it would be Prismatic ETBs and Prismatic Booster Bundles. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.